Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create an iOS plugin to integrate a reality kit in Godot game engine. Now reality kit is used to do augmented reality stuff in native iOS. So I will keep this tutorial simple. So we will be downloading a USDZ model, so to display like stuff in reality kit or augmented reality you require a specific model called USDZ, which is the recommended model from Apple. So if you want to download, you can go to this particular website. These are called reality files as well. You can use reality files in augmented reality, or you can use 3D models which are in USDZ format. So I will just download this particular chair model. You are feel free to use whatever model you want. You can, like I mentioned, you can also use this reality files as well. You just have to change the extension as the file as well as the file name. Rest of the code remains exactly the same. Okay, also here I have created one cheat sheet which I will be following. So first I have created an empty Godot folder. You don't need to create it, it's just that at the end of this tutorial there will be 3 different projects. That's why I have created one parent folder. As usual, you would require macOS and Xcode installed from the Apple App Store. The next thing is you have to go to this particular URL over here. So I'll just open it over here. So first we have to open Xcode. Now they have also said the same thing, like creating a package. So I will just show you that. Just open Xcode, file, new, package, multi-platform, library, click next again, and inside the Godot folder I will just name it as my library. You can name it whatever you feel like, but if you are doing this for the very first time, I would request you to follow what I'm doing, because this name is very important and it will be used in multiple places as well. So inside the Godot folder I will just click on create. Now it will create the library for us. So that's what have been specified in the documentation as well. Next, in the documentation they have specified to add this dependency package URL. So this is part of my cheat sheet. I'll just copy it from here. You can copy it from the documentation as well. So if you see, they have added it after the products array. Okay, so I'll just come over here inside Xcode, inside the package.swift file. You will have to paste it like this and press Command S. This will automatically download the Swift Godot dependency with the help of Swift package manager. So if you can see over here, this will download. Let's just wait a second. So here you can see it has downloaded the dependencies for us. All right, next scroll down. Here you can see they have added this platform macOS. We require platform iOS. So again I'll just copy this, and I have kept the minimum iOS target as 17 because I was facing some issues with iOS 15. I have not tried iOS 16. That's why, just to be on the safer side, I have kept it as iOS 17. Okay, then the next thing is we have to add this type dynamic. So if you see over here, they have added after this library name. So after the library name, I'll just paste it over here. Then let's see, they have added this dependency inside target name. So I will just add this dependencies inside target name over here. Okay, and I'll just do Command D and Control I just to indent it properly. You don't need to do this. Okay, so this is done. Now at the time of me recording this video, Swift Godot does not support Swift version 6. It only supports till Swift 5.10. Like the Swift version 6 introduces a lot of concurrency changes, but make sure whenever you're watching this video, just check whether Swift Godot supports Swift version 6 or not. Eventually it will, but at least for now it doesn't. So I will just change this to 5.10 over here. Okay, so that's done. Then we have to actually write the code. So for that you can just go to my library.swift file. Now I will cheat a little bit. I will just go to the project which I have already created, and from that I will just copy some code. I already have code for this. So I'll just open this to files. Okay, so first inside this I'll just come over here, copy this. Okay, again come back to Xcode, and inside my library.swift you will have to write this bit of code. So first we are importing UIKit as well as Swift Godot. We don't require core data, sorry, this is my mistake. and here we just use this boilerplate code which is required by Swift Godot. Again, this should be your own library name. Then we create a class, annotate with @main actor as well as @Godot, and we extend ref counted. Then here we created a method called open, and we are annotating with this with @callable because this needs to be called from the um, GDescript side. And here this augmented reality screen will be opened in a new screen or a new window. That's why we have to first get hold of our root view controller. Then we will be creating one Swift file which we will be doing shortly. So we just initialize this particular Swift file called AR view controller. Then here we create a model presentation style of full screen, and here we just do root view controller dot present, and here we display an AR view controller as well. Okay, so we need to create this particular Swift file. So I'll just copy this name. I will right click over here, new empty file, AR view controller dot Swift. Okay, again I'll just copy all this code and I'll paste it over here. So here we are importing UI kit, reality kit, AR kit and combine. Then here we are extending from UI view controller. Then here we have created this cancelable. Here we initialize the AR view. So the frame is 0, camera mode is AR, and here is the AR world tracking configuration. This is the plane detection, this is the environment tracking as well, and support screen reconstruction. Even I don't know what this is. And here we just run our session. Then inside view did load, this is called as soon as the screen is presented. So we just add our AR view to our parent view. Then here we make sure the AR view occupies the entire width and height of the screen, and then we just use this combine so that our code is not non-blocking in case if the model or the scene is very large. So here we load the 3D model. Now here you will have to change the name with your own 3D model or reality file. Okay, so be careful over here, don't just blindly copy my name. Okay, and here we just do this sync. So once this is done, in case if there is failure, we just print it to the console. In case if it is properly done, then we create a model entity, add the model entity to our parent entity, then create an anchor entity, then add the anchor parent entity to our anchor, then we add the anchor to our AR view scene. Then we just do the generate collision shape as well as install gestures like translation, rotation and scale, so that we can do that inside augmented reality as well. Okay, once that is done, now the next thing is we need to create a build.sh file. I won't be creating that using Xcode because I always mess it up. So what I will do is I will use VS Code for it. If you are comfortable using Xcode for that, you can do that as well, or you can use any editor you feel like. Also, one more thing, if you are seeing a lot of these errors like this is fine. Xcode does not play nicely with Swift Godot. That's the reason why we are seeing all this. Okay, so I will just go to my Godot folder which I have created over here. Okay, I'll just open it inside VS Code, and I have just pasted my cheat sheet as well. So inside my library I will just create new file named as build.sh. okay, then we need to go to this particular URL and copy some code. So I'll just open this new URL. So again, shout out to this guy Stefan who has helped me with Swift Godot. So I'll just copy this entire bit of code which we see over here and paste it inside build.sh file. Okay, the next thing which you have to do is just scroll at the top, and here instead of this iOS plugin packages, you just have to name it with your own library name. So my library name is just my library, and here we also need to add this skip macro validation as well. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Make sure there is no space before and after that. Then I'll just close this build.sh file. Then we just have to cd to our library inside terminal, and we need to run two commands. Firstly, we need to copy this command and paste it over here. Next, we need to run this command. Now I'm not planning it to deploy this app on Apple App Store, so I will be generating just the debug folder. Now if you are planning to deploy it to Apple App Store, you will have to replace this debug with release, but for now debug is fine for me. So I'll just copy this command and I'll paste it over here. Now this will take a little bit of time, so let it do its thing. In the meantime, I will just open Godot game engine. I'm using Godot 4.3.0 at the time of me recording this video, but if there is some higher version, you can use that. I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. Then just click on create. You can just navigate to the Godot folder which we have. Over here I'll click on select current folder, and here I will just name it as my Godot project. Okay, and I'll just click on create and edit. Then here you have to go to project, export, add, iOS, click on this fix import. Then here you have to enter your app store team ID. To get your app store team ID, you can go to this particular URL over here. So yeah, I will enter my app store team ID later on, but make sure you enter your app store team ID now only, otherwise you won't be able to export the iOS project from Godot game engine. And inside bundle identifier, I can just name it as com.nobody.myapp, but you can name it whatever you feel like. Typically it is com.your company name .your app name. Then I will just click on close. I'll click on 2D scene. I'll click on this plus button. I'll add one button. That's the only thing which we require. Just expand this button, name it open, name it whatever you feel like. Just do command S to save this scene. Then add one script to this as well. Okay, also I will just run it so that my root scene is selected, otherwise we might face issues when once we export our project. That's why. Okay, then again I'll just cheat a little. I'll just go back to my actual project, old project which I had created. I'll just copy some code. So here I have just created this library variable, so I'll just paste it over here, and inside the ready I'll just copy this. I'll paste it over here. Okay, now again this should be your own library name as well as this one. Why is this throwing an error? Maybe because of indentation, I guess. Okay, okay, I think I have added this extra dot at the end. Okay, then we also need to connect our buttons press signal. So I'll just go node, double click on this, click on connect, and on button press we just need to add this particular thing. So I'll just copy this, then I can close this. Okay, and I'll paste it over here. Next we need to create a bin folder. If you want, again I'll just remove this dot. So if you want, you can do it from Godot game engine as well. I'll just do it from VS Code. So just open your Godot project. Inside that, create a bin folder. Inside that you have to create a file called whatever is your library name .gd extension. So I'll just do this, create this file. Now if you check over here, if I try to click on this, it is not opening in Godot game engine. I don't know why. So that's why I'm using VS Code. But feel free to use whatever you feel like. So inside that .gd extension file, we have to copy this code and paste it over here. Again, if you have created release framework, you will have to replace debug with release over here as well as over here. Then coming back to our terminal, here you can see it has successfully created the framework files for us. So what we can do is we can just go to our Godot folder, and here we can go to library, sorry, bin, iOS, and copy these two folders which have been created. Okay, then go to your Godot project, go to bin and just paste it over here. Okay, then also we will be creating one more folder called iOS. You don't have to name it as iOS, you can name it whatever you feel like. It's just that once we export our project from Godot game engine, there will be a lot of folders or files. That's why I've created one parent folder for this called iOS. Then come back to our Godot game engine, go to project, export, and click on export project. Here you can go to the iOS folder and then click on save. Now this will take a little bit of time, so let's just wait for this to finish. Okay, so as you can see, my export was successful. Then just go to the iOS folder and double click on this .xcode proj file. It will automatically open it inside Xcode for you. Now don't forget to drag and drop the 3D model which we have downloaded. But if you remember, the name which we gave was chair. So I will just edit it and I will just drag and drop it inside my Godot project. Make sure this checkbox is checked as well, and then click on finish. Now every time you export, this particular thing will get lost. I don't know if there is any better solution for this or not. If yes, do let me know in the comments. Maybe you can try bundling it directly inside your library, but again I'm not really sure if that is a good idea or not. Anyways, so I'll just run this application. uh, Again, one more thing which I want to clear here is you will have to run it on a real device. It will not work on the simulator because of those graphics thing which even I don't really understand. And also augmented reality won't work on a simulator. So let's just wait for this to finish. Okay, so here is my output. I'll just click on this open button. Let's just wait. I think it does take a bit of time. Now it asks me for my camera permission. I'll click on allow, and here you can see it has placed this chair. It is quite big. I'll just pinching it to like scale it down, and you can rotate it as well. As you can see, you can zoom in, zoom out as well. You can move it anywhere you feel like. So yeah, hopefully you got the point. Now one more thing which I want to clarify is at least at the time of me recording this video, whenever you export a project from Godot, if you go to this my Godot project info file, here you can see it automatically adds the camera permission. It's better you add some description why you require the camera permission. In future, if this permission is not available out of the box when you export a project from Godot, make sure you add it manually. This is necessary, otherwise augmented reality feature will not work. So yeah, here you can specify why your app requires a permission to display augmented reality, something like that. So yeah, but yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.